What is going on, fellow traders? Trade Shark JC is back. I know I was supposed to do a little earlier today, but better late than never. So we are going to review all of my tickers in preparation for next week to see where the market could be potentially going. And also I want to kind of isolate some of the tickers to see what I want to kind of focus on next week. Okay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see what we have on the screen here, we're going to start with QQQ. Like I said, I trade QQQ the most. So I want to see where we could potentially go in there. It'll kind of let us know from a tech sector standpoint where the market could be going. So let's kind of look, right? So we ended the day, I think it went up a little bit and it came back down. So we touched all the way. I think we already almost went down to 618. I don't know. Is this updated? Right. So we could. This is a one. So that means we're in the consolidation phase, right? The previous day was a lot on Thursday, right? We went all the way from 618 all the way up to 633, 34, 33 to be exact on the high. So where could we be going? We might just trade sideways. So we're going to be looking to see if it drops below. If it drops below 618, right? Then we could potentially go down to 616, potentially 614, right? Or we could pop back up. So it might be a challenging week. We got a lot of earnings. Let's just look at earnings. Oh, I don't have the earnings video up. Do a window. Let's do Earnings Hub. Earnings Hub is great just to get a visual. Let me bring that over here. So we can get a visual of what's going on next week. So we got Disney. So let's make sure we look. We're gonna look at everything. Disney, Palantir, after hours. Palantir is big in the tech sector. And then we got PayPal Finance, Pfizer, Merck. This is all health related. HLV, Fubo. That's kind of entertainment TV that kind of falls under I think XLC, kind of like with Disney. Eaton Corporation. I'm not sure what that is. Archer Daniels, Midland Company. I think this is a food packaging or distribution company. Galaxy Digital, not sure what that is. Enterprise Rise, not sure. So we know AMD, Supermicro Computers, right? AMD, that's tech. So we got 2 days with tech. Take Two Interactive, that's in the EA. They are also, this is Modelo's. I think this is what Modelo's, right? Oh, Mondelez. This is actually a pretty cool contract. I traded this in the past before. We got Lumen, right? Uber, Eli Lilly. So we got a lot of health stocks related. So we could drop down, and then we're going to look at XLK and see what the health sector is looking like for next week. We got GE, ABBV. A lot of those are in the industrial sector. UBS, T. Rowe Price, Phillips. So we got quite a few things. Peloton, Shell. So quite a few things. Estee Lauder, Under Armour, etc. A lot of different things are jumping off next week. Iron is pretty popular. Amazon, Affirm. This is kind of like a financial lender, online financial lender, like PayPal. So could be an interesting week. This is MSTR, MicroStrategy, which is tied to Bitcoin. And if you've seen, Bitcoin has dipped, right? This is the lowest I think it's been. Is it the lowest it's been in about 52 weeks? So Bitcoin and CNC, I got that on the list as well. So we'll look at all that here, just to kind of see where we could potentially go next week and what we need to kind of look at. Tomorrow, I'll go over my tick list in detail. It's usually about 25 to 30 tickers that we're going to be looking at and see how that goes. All right, let's first start with QQQ. Like I said, we could, if we go under the 2-up, which would 2-up would be like 619.30. If we go below that, like I said, we could go hit 614. And right here, what you see is you have kind of a bearish order block here where you see this blue. We could touch down in here somewhere. And then my expectation would be a touch and then go as we have earnings through the week. So keep your eye on that. Also, let's look at it. Where is it on a weekly? That week is over. Let's look at the 2-week. All right, so on the 2-week, we have a 3, right? So this is an engulfing candle. So we could probably more than likely, I know we might go back to the monthly 50%, which is 614. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe Monday. We'll see, right? So let's see where we're on a month. On a month, we're at 2. I mean, we're still up on the month because we went higher than the 628 of December, right? Let's see. Let's go back to the 2-week. Let's see if we can put I don't know. We can't really put. Can't really put boundary. I don't know. Riding formations don't necessarily work on the. Let's see. Let's go to daily. High here. Yeah, we don't know. It could come down. Like I say, maybe I'm thinking 614. So we'll check that out. All right, let's start at the top. Meta. Let's look at the daily on Meta. Meta, after earnings went up, we touched up here. The Meta came down. So there's a gap on the downside to be able to fill, right? There was a gap here. We went back up and touched this gap. And then there's a gap here. Then it went down. So Meta's in a pretty precarious state. We'll just have to watch it during the week and see where it's going, or it might want to trade sideways throughout the week. And then sideways is a pretty big gap, right? From 7 all the way down here from 710 to 740. It's a big gap. So you're going to keep an eye on this and see if Meta hits a sell-off at any point in time. Which I don't know. People bought a lot, so it could go up. We got to keep our eye on Meta next week. So I won't put Meta on the list. Tesla was interesting on Friday. So we can put Tesla on my tick list. Interested to see how Tesla performs next week, right? Because Tuesday, no, this last week, went up, touched down. Are we going to go up? See, we touched here, pull back. Are we going to come back here? So we're trading in this area. I want to see what the contract prices are like for Tesla. So I'm interested in Tesla next week. Eli Lilly, right? I think we shown that they had earnings next week. Eli Lilly, let's see, on 22nd, about a week ago, they were up at 1084. So it could shoot up. We can put Lilly on the list. And tomorrow, like I said, we'll look at the actual contracts and see how pricey they are, and see what we can take off the list. Right, and then we know as the week goes on, um, we have the opportunity to get contracts a little cheaper. So we'll definitely keep our eye on that one. All right, let's look at Baba. Ooh, Baba. Thursday ran it up. Remember, I think, did I have Baba on the list last week? I'm not sure, but it looks like we are maybe potentially going. What is it at 169, 168, 168 to 167? So I don't know. We'll keep our eye on Baba to see where it goes, because you can make some money off of Baba. So we'll add it on the tick list. What does options look like on Baba? So 169. So people are very bullish on Baba. They have some contracts 175. Anything out further? What about the 13? 172. Not a lot of volume on these. So I might have to do a weekly on Baba. We'll see what the contracts look like tomorrow. Let's look at the weekly. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to put my heater on. It is freezing. Nah, it's too loud. I'm sorry. I'll take it out. I'll endure. It's too loud. Too loud. All right, if we're looking on a week, right? Weekly it looked like it went up. It looked like it is maybe consolidating and see which way it wants to go. What does it look like on the month? We got a 3, so an engulfing candle. 3 means it can go either way, right? We can go up, and it's looking like we want to go back on the contracts. Look at the 2 week. So the 2 week went up. Let's go back to the thing. So we went up. We might want to touch 180 again. We might want to touch 180 again. The highest high is 191. So yeah, we'll keep our eye on Baba. Next, MU. Okay, MU looks like it is ready to, after months of going or weeks of going up, it looks like it might be ready to go back down. Right? So, it's the daily. Wow. Well, could we go back down? Because I don't think it's ever been this high before. Okay, we could go back down to 400. Or, I didn't even look at MU on Friday. What did it look like on Friday? Let's check. So it was popped up to 455. But MU's expensive though, so that's probably why I didn't look at it. And it came all the way down. Oh my goodness, this was. Could have 8 on MU. Let's look at option strat. MU. Let's look at the volatility on MU. It's high. Yeah, contracts are pretty high. 414. Yeah. We wouldn't be able to afford MU. All right, next let's look at AXP, which is American Express. And this is what I typically do, y'all. I like to look on a daily. We went all the way down to 344. Let's look at the week. On the week, we touched. What are the prices on EXP? In the financial sector, y'all, I really like to kind of trade 385. So AXP on a week. We'll see where it starts off on Monday, but let's see. Check the daily again. Friday we hit a success on the 2 down. So we came down, touched here, and then came back up. Let's look at the hour chart real quick. Yeah, we came down, ran it back up. Let's see, 345, ran it all the way back up by the end of the day. So are we gonna come from 352 and get all the way back to 359? Let's say I wanted to get a 3. What? How's the contract cheaper the further I go back? That's crazy. All right, let's say 370, right? I don't know. We'll look at it. Maybe 370. AXP. We'll put AXP on the ticker list, right? We don't stay here too long. AXP. All right, let's look at gold. Gold took a massive plunge, right? So we knew gold was kind of oversold. From Thursday, it was boom 490. You could have took a lotto put, boom 490, lost 50 on gold. And gold contracts expire on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Look at GLD. Same thing with silver. All right, still pretty high. But gold is just so unpredictable. What's that? 440. Yeah, I don't think we can afford gold, but gold is look like it's coming down for a little bit. Could have made some money on gold if you had enough. All right. Microsoft. So Microsoft Thursday, after earnings, and they had good earnings too, right? They had really good earnings, but is that typical of, they ran it up? So we might be just historically, they run it up on Microsoft and then it dips. So maybe it dipped all the way. Wow. So keep your eye on Microsoft. Microsoft could rise again, could dip. We don't know. But the volatility makes it worth watching for sure, because we can make some good money if we guess right. UNH looked like it wanted to go and fill this gap, but it didn't. So UNH is part of the health sector. So if Eli Lilly runs up, then UNH can run up too. So we definitely want to keep that on the list, just in case we start to we just want to watch it this week and see where it goes and get prepared where we can have a big move. We can make potentially a good deal of money on that. Charter, I traded Charter a few times. Charter doesn't have a lot of volume, but you can make some good money on Charter. I see Friday went, they had earnings. Friday went stupid. Where could it go? It went up to 214. How did it look like? Look at the hour. Earnings. What's typical earnings? I don't know. I probably won't be trading Charter, but it's on the list. So, but I won't put it on my tick list for this week. The setup doesn't look lovely unless we take a put on it. But we'll watch it. I'll look at it tomorrow. Mastercard had a a crazy Thursday right before they had when they had earnings, and then they kind of consolidated here. So MasterCard. MasterCard is pretty expensive too. Oh shoot, what's the put? Yeah. What is the volume like on MasterCard anyway? It's not a lot of volume. Not enough volume for me to kind of trade on MasterCard. Snow. What is Snow? Ooh, my goodness. Snow has been getting beat up. Oh my God. But hey, we can make some money on Snow. We're gonna put that on the list for sure, right? So we may want to watch for a reversal, right? The lowest it probably has been in a while, in a year or a few months, is 187 support here. I mean, this whole thing is support, but what did this look like? I didn't even look at Snow. Snow just cratered. Kind of 1030, 199 and went down. Could have made some money on Snow. All right, it's on the hour. Snow could come back up to 200, which would be some good ball. That's 200,000 trade, 200,000 volume. I'm not mad at it. We put Snow on the list. Let's put Snow on the list. Good setup for a reversal, y'all. Some good money. No, cancel. Some good money to be made on that. Let's go back on the daily. Already looked at Q. What about Oracle? Oracle's been getting beat up too. I was looking at Oracle here. Do they have earnings? They don't have earnings till late, so I don't know if we're gonna trade Oracle unless there's like a big reversal. Let's see, get back up $20. We can get back up to maybe 185. So we're gonna keep Oracle on the tick list too. Could be some money to be made there. You know, while we're looking at it, let's just look at the option chain. Oh man, Oracle. Ooh, 170. They got some volume. Definitely got some volume. Oracle has pretty good volume daily. 24 million on average past 30 days. Earnings in about a month. So let's put Oracle on the list because it could reverse. Oh, we already got on the list. All right. AMD. What does AMD look like? They have earnings this week. What happens when AMD has earnings? Could it reverse? AMD is pretty cheap too, usually. Oh my God. AMD is expensive. I don't know. We'll put it on the list just to check and see what the prices look like Monday, but AMD usually isn't the implied volatility is high. What's the volume looking like? Also, it's high. Has a high volume. Wells Fargo stated that AMD stock drop is overstated. While production is on track. I don't know. AMD. What is AMD? It's kind of balanced all over the place, y'all. You got a high spike, 220, 217 for AMD. Puts 2026. Keep our eye on AMD. All right. Procter and Gamble. Let's go back. Ooh. Procter & Gamble had a good day. At what time? By 11:30, they were trading sideways, went up. Procter & Gamble. This health, right? Health sector. Let's see, Procter & Gamble, household personal care, consumer non. Okay, so this is like XLC. What's the volume? 11 million. I hate when they do contracts like this. 148. What's the volume? Yeah, this volume is ugly. 152. Call, no puts. Not interested. It looks okay, but not enough volume. I mean, it looks interesting though. And we can come back down 149. Not interested in silver. Had to drop too. Same like gold. Silver is probably high. Silver used to be really cheap. Yeah, silver used to be like $10-15 a contract. Now it's through 272. It's through the roof. I used to trade silver and gold last year. All right, Amazon. Amazon has earnings this week, right? What has historically happened? So last time they had earnings, spike the day before, went up, came down, went up, came down. Amazon. Correct. Amazon contracts are very affordable. Okay. Amazon might be on the list, guys. Okay. Amazon might be like that next week. Amazon. We're gonna put a star by Amazon. I like this one. I also like snow. Amazon might be the trade of the week. But let's look. Where could it go? Could spike up and drop. We're gonna play the upside. Let's see. Could go back up to 2. That's on the week. 248. 248. 249. So 248. Where are we on the month? Yeah, 248. Looks like if we go up, it'll probably be the 248. Get back up to 248. We're just going to see how it looks on the daily tomorrow. Contracts look pretty good. Curious to see what Amazon looks like tomorrow. Could we spike all the way up to 2? Could we break that and go back to 257? We're gonna ask AI what the sentiments on them. We're gonna look at it. But Amazon looks pretty good. Ooh. Roku popped down. Roku's pretty cheap. I've had some success on Roku. C 105. Could come back up, right? We took a hit. Friday. So Roku usually moves between $2-3 a day. So 105 if it moves. We're gonna put Roku on the list, y'all. What about Google? Google has earnings on the Wednesday, and Google is high already. What do we think on Google? It already had an all-time high. And Google's pretty affordable, right? No, it is not. 400 is a lot of... What's the volume on Google? 19 million? We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. But, you know, I don't see... It could potentially go up and then come back down. We don't know. But, you know, we'll keep our eye on Google. We'll keep our eye on Google. IWM, what is IWM looking like? IWM is looking like... I like to trade IWM sometimes instead of SPY. So we'll keep our eye on IWM. That's something I always watch daily. I don't need to put that on the list. ABBV. Nothing too crazy. It looked good like a week or 2 weeks ago. It looked good. Right? And it went up. Came down, boom, touched support, bounced right back up. So could have made some money that week on ABBV. All right, Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo looks like. Wells Fargo's pretty cheap too. What did they have on Thursday? $2. It don't take much for Wells Fargo. You can make pretty good money, but it's looking like it might want to fill this gap. Get back to 93 potentially. We'll put it on the list. Let me see. Increase volume. Volume looks pretty good. Did really good Thursday. I know Wells Fargo contracts are pretty cheap. And look at this. 2-week expiration. 95. We got it to 93. Wouldn't be bad. That'd be good profit. We'll put it on the list. Let's put it Wells Fargo on the list. Cheaper contract, we can push it out 2 weeks and see what we can get. Let me see, what does that look like? 95, so it needs to be 93 before the end of the week. Okay. I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on Wells Fargo. Citigroup. Looks ugly. I don't want no parts of that. T-Mobile. T-Mobile looks like it might want to go up here. Did I have T-Mobile on the list? It's on my tick list. Did I have T-Mobile on here? I did. I had T-Mobile. We did have T-Mobile because it was down here. It came up. Boom. Get back here. And it looks like that's what it did Friday. Thursday, Friday. Yeah. I did have T-Mobile last week, guys. You can find some good stuff on this tick list. Trust me. On my weekly tick list. All right. Hims. How's Hims looking? Yeah. We don't want to touch that. JPM, right? Remember we was looking at JPM. JPM came up a little bit. Rolled back down. I'm still interested in JPM. We made money on it. We lost money Friday, but that was due to my error. And Friday was just a tricky day. So on tricky days like that, I accidentally bought more contracts than I wanted. So, and I should have had a firm amount that I was going to lose instead of holding it, right? Anyway, let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA I don't know what to make of NVIDIA. We can go up to 200, and we very well could come back down. So NVIDIA is always something to watch, especially if the contracts are cheap enough. Right. We just want to make sure we watch NVIDIA. GameStop. I was on GameStop, about 2 weeks ago. Right. It just here popped up. It looked like it wanted to go. And then Tuesday, I see some alerts on GameStop. QBTS. This is a quantum computer stock that's been beat up. QBTS. We got some volume. Puts here. I don't know. QBTS. We might keep watching on QBTS. Because it's hit a low. It could go lower. And here, boom. Reversed. Weekly. Cheap contracts. Huh? I'll put on the list. Alright, we're already halfway there, yo. Well, halfway on the list. Alright, so QBTS. What about PayPal? I don't like trading PayPal. PayPal is on my do not trade list. So I'm definitely not looking to trade PayPal. Sorry, guys. I'm not a fan of PayPal. Philip Morris International. Philip Morris has been on the heater this whole month. And it actually could drop. How much is Philip Morris contract? It's that 2.5. I don't like these contracts. Visa's been kind of trading sideways for this whole month. Not interested. Apple can go either way. We can come back up to low high, come back down, go all the way back up. Right? Let's see. What are we doing on a month? On a month, we're red on the month. So, what about this past week? Green. What about the 2 week? Okay. I don't know. Apple could come here and come back down. It's a good daily contract maybe to get in if there's a huge spike down. Okay, now this week, remember, we're having daily contracts on some of these. Let me see. NVIDIA has a daily. Yes. So Apple. Does Amazon have this too? So we can do daily contracts on these. Amazon too. This kind of changes some things, everybody. So we can trade daily on Amazon and Apple. So these might always have to be not daily. Well, every other day, right? So we got the 2nd, 4th, and the 6th. Daily contracts. That's amazing. So those will always be on the list now because you can trade them daily. Wow. Forgot about that. Okay, look, Berkshire Hathaway. Remember, I told you guys last week, Berkshire Hathaway. All right. Came down. Boom. What was that? 470? 480? It might come back down a little bit, but I want to keep our eyes on Berkshire Hathaway. Some good money to be made on. I made some good amount of money on Berkshire Hathaway. All right, look. Volumes are low. Never mind. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Berkshire Hathaway, the volumes are way too low. Cancel. Cisco. I mean, if Cisco fell, it would be nice back in this gap, but I'm not worried about it. Palantir. Ooh. Palantir's been beat up. What are the contracts like on PLTR? Okay, so PLTR is weekly still. 147. Oh. 170, 180. PLTR has been beat up. Earnings tomorrow? Every time they have earnings, they kind of shoot up. Earnings in the AM. No? I don't know. Palantir can drive. Some money can be made on Palantir, everyone. PLTR. 18. Johnson & Johnson was on a nice little run. But Johnson & Johnson could be looking for a 2-2 bearish reversal. 225. You can come back down to 220. J&J. I hate this. Okay, 220. 224. Where could it go? 220. It won't get there in a day, though. I don't know. What was 5 a day? I don't know. Where's 220? 220 is right here. Hey, so I went 6. I don't like the spread, though. Target looked like it reversed. I made some money on Target too, $3. What did it look like Friday? Started off strong. Took a lot of bump, reversed Thursday, and then went up. It's low high. Where could it go? 107. Can we get back? Are we in this gap? Look like we're in the gap. From Friday. Could we go up? 108? TJT? Oh. What's the volume? There's a lot of volume here. I feel like we missed it though. We'll see. Target, we might have missed that Target boat. So let's look at the daily. 106, 107, 108. We had a 2, 1, 2. We broke. Upper on target. Could have made some money. Target was on the list. I don't think I'm going to put it on the list, though. Bank of America. Bank of America is very cheap. Everyone, if you want to play. So you could have played Bank of America Wednesday. Because we came down here, had a low. Had this order block here. Reversed off the order block. All the way up. Like, you can make... On Bank of America, I was so locked into JPM on Bank of America. $55, $12. It goes back up. I don't know where. It would have to go up to, say, 54, 34, 100%. Nah, not worth it. Not worth it in my opinion. TLT, this is Treasury bonds, ETF 20-year Treasury bonds. You actually can make decent money on this. They're actually pretty cheap. Contracts are very cheap on TLT, right? So even small little movements of, where is it, 17, like 50 cents can net you, 100% profit. Right? So what did this move? 50 cents. So you could have made some money on and these contracts expire Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So push it out Friday. I doubt it go to 88, but for people that like to trade the low moving stocks, low cost stocks, you can go to TLT. Let's go to QUBT. And QUBT, quantum computing is kind of beat up. Let's look at McDonald's. I like trading McDonald's. McDonald's reversed last week. So I knew that, but when it reversed, I wasn't interested in playing. Like, here was a good time to play. Here would have been a good time to play, but right now it's kind of going up high. It's not a lot of movement upside, right? We can go downside, so we'll keep an eye on McDonald's. Hood. Ooh, Hood has been beat up. What are earnings is when? A week from now. Let's look at the contracts on Hood. Did Hood try to reverse? Is Hood trying to reverse? So we got a lot of volume. We had a lot of high put volume. We got a lot of put volume on Hood. I got a lot of volume on the upside. I am interested in Robinhood. So I've made money on Robinhood as well. See, let's look at Hood's pricing. Apply volatility, 110. Let's put Hood on the list, y'all. Hood, Rocket Mortgage. I don't really like to trade Rocket. Baidu, this is I think it's Chinese pet food company. Or no. Oh, this is I said pet food because I'm looking at the pause. I think this is internet. It's one of the top internet. I think it's China. But volume's been kind of low. Where is it going? 146. Baidu can get down to. If it breaks this, we're looking at 146, 145, 146, Baidu. Not Naidu. Baidu. 140. What did I say? You can go to 146. Not worth it. Not worth it. SMCI went up. Boop. On Friday, and then last week it just came down. I haven't traded SMCI in a minute. Upstart, so my do not trade list. But we always want to look. AT&T went crazy after earnings. This is crazy. AT&T is usually just kind of, they must have had a crazy earnings. Yeah, had a crazy earnings. AT&T went all the way back up. Remember, price has memory, y'all. AT&T went all the way back up, beat up, and then took off. And T's usually cheap. Yeah, T's cheap. Wow. So T, like, what if you like AT&T moving $3 is a big deal. $3? Oh my gosh, what is 26? 20? That's like that's rare. You don't see too much. You don't see AT&T doing that. I did not see AT&T doing that. Wow, what a reversal. The volume was there too. Yeah, because honest, usually on AT&T, you don't need to move that much. Let's see, to get good percentage, right? AT&T, you move like 30, 40 cents, you can make profit. And that's just too low for me. All right, when did this collapse? Monday, reverse back up. I don't know. I don't know where we are with Intel. Intel's kind of going sideways. So we'll keep our eye on Intel. Nike. I used to trade Nike a few years ago when I really started. I used to trade Nike and Starbucks. Because everything else just seemed so unaffordable. Right? I would trade what was in my budget. So I'll tell you a story about one time when we traded Nike. Hit it big, but we didn't know it and lost it all. It was like one of the worst days. I'm not trading Nike. Morgan Stanley. Don't like it. Mara has been beat up. Bitcoin's been beat up. APLD. No, looks like we missed it. MSTU. No. Shop. Beat up. Definitely got to have put Shop back on the list. We're going to make some money on Shop again. We made some money last week. We're going to make some money this week on Shop. Keep your eye on Shop this week, y'all. That's crazy. Shopify went down. Boom. Roblox has been kind of beat up too. I put Roblox calls on the list, y'all. But Roblox has been expensive. That's why I haven't played. Look at this implied volatility. It's too high. Roblox is too high. There's a volatility, S&P volatility index, the VIX. When the S&P 500 goes down, VIX goes up. usually. So it's kind of measuring the volatility, something like that. I don't want to tell you guys wrong, but I think this might be the inverse of SPY. This is VIX. Also, let's look at Uber. Uber is, what do I say about Uber? Uber is one of those trades where you get in it, but you have to wait so long for Uber to move sometimes that I don't really like dealing with Uber. Uber is kind of on my do not trade list, personally. Uh, it's just sporadic. It'll go sideways, then go up, stay up, then go down. No, I'm not trading Uber. Netflix, we tried Netflix last week. Just not in a good place right now. We'll keep our eye on it and see if it reverses, but it's just not in a good place right now. There go Merck. They have earnings on Tuesday. So we'll see if it drops to come back down here, but not interested. DG. I made good money on DG last year. I was trading DG back down here. May came up, boom. And DG's kind of went up now, but I'm not interested in DG. AVGO. AVGO is one of my favorite things to trade, but it's kind of been sideways a little bit. So unless we come back down here, I won't be looking at AVGO. Home Depot. Home Depot's okay. I think Home Depot is kind of expensive. Yeah, Home Depot's kind of expensive. I'd rather trade Amazon that you can trade a couple days. So Costco, man, could have ran up a bag on Costco like the beginning of January when we were Costco got beat up. You could have ran up a bag on Costco. I had that on my tick list earlier in the year, but I just didn't. If I was doing what I do, if I would have seen the vision that I have now a few weeks ago, would have ran up a bag on Meta and Costco. John Deere, it's already high. We're not worried about John Deere. GE went, I think GE went pretty good. Reversal Thursday. Then came up. What is GE? GE's not that expensive. But, I mean, it could get to, it already kind of reversed. Big reverse. Hit the weekly 50%. Where are we on the month for this? It's a 2 on the month, but it's trending the other way. What about on the week? We're at the weekly 50%. It could be going back up to 224. Or not really 224. Let's say more 316. What is 316? 316. It would have to get there by Tuesday to make sense. So, no, we're not looking at GE. What about SPY? How does SPY look? No, SPY's in limbo. So we'll check back on SPY. And pretty much all of these are the sectors. You got XLC, which is the communication sector. XLY is consumer discretionary, like your Tesla, your Amazon, Home Depot, and things like that. XLK is your technology sector. Your Palantirs, your nvdas, Micron, AVGO. All your tech stuff is under this one. XLF is finance. So pretty much all of your banking stocks and finance stocks are here. XLB is materials, kind of like mining companies and things like that. XLE is energy, your Chevrons, Valeros, Phillips, all of those companies are under energy. Then you got your XLV, which is health. Health is, your J&J, Johnson and Johnson, Eli Lilly, United Healthcare Group, pretty much all of those companies under healthcare, your biotech and all the stuff like that is under XLV. Then we got XLP, consumer staples. I think like General Mills, Kraft Heinz Company. I think all of those are consumer staples. Utilities and real estate and industrial. I don't even have real estate on here. Industrials like GE, companies like that. We got Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has touched 76. This is the lowest Bitcoin has been since last year, April. So we might want to pay attention to your MSTRs, Coinbase. All of those companies may, if Bitcoin jumps, those companies will jump as well. So I definitely will put those on the list as well. And this is the kind of like this is the real S&P. What we were looking at earlier was the ETF. This is kind of what they trade on. What's the name of that? This is what some people use to trade when they trade SPY. Let me see, SPX. Yeah, these are just big numbers, so I usually don't trade. That's why we trade the ETFs. So, all right, Carvana. Oh my goodness, look at Carvana. We're halfway through the list, y'all. About 15 more minutes, we'll probably wrap it up. So Autodesk has been beat up. December we were 310. So what is a disk? Contracts for, I don't like the 2.5 spread. I like the dollar spreads on the contracts. So this is 275. I mean, it could reverse, y'all. What's the volumes? Volumes are kind of low. What are contracts looking like on? Nah. No, thank you. We wouldn't be able to get in the contract. We wouldn't be able to get out. This is the futures, right? This is S&P futures. I don't know a lot about futures. I know in the Discord I'm in the Teach.Trade Discord, there are a few people that trade futures. I'm not one of those. I just kind of trade options. So hopefully in the future we'll learn once we get really cemented in options and see what we can do there, build up our account there. Lemonade. It's finance, sideways. CRM, Salesforce. Whoa, it has been beat to smithereens. Did they have earned? Why are they so bad? CRM. I have to put CRM on the list, everyone. Let's see what. I kind of got a little bit of call volume. 215. No, thank you. I mean, it's good, but it maybe goes back in the gap, but not enough volume for me. Lululemon. See, it trades sideways for a little bit. Went up, trade sideways for a little bit, come down. No, I'm not interested. Dell had a pretty good November, December run, but it's kind of been trading sideways, so not interested in Dell. This is health biotechnology. USAR, this is rare mineral. They had a pretty good last week. All right, big numbers. Went up from 19. We broke. Came up here. Not bad. I don't see anything for this week, but went stupid. A lot of people made a lot of money on USAR. I think I had it on my list. Like, did I have it? Did I have USA? I think I had it on my list 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago I had a USAR on my list. No, not that one. Open list. Let me see. Tick list. Oh, no, we had USAR. We did have USAR. Tick list 112. One of these had USAR on it. Crap. Yeah. Beginning of the month. USAR. Yeah. See, we were on it. We were on USAR here before it went off and then went up. I knew I had it on the list. Anyway. All right. So last was USAR. This is AI. It's been kind of beat up. I'm not interested in that. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I think it has expiration on Fridays. So it's kind of been sideways. So I'm not interested in that. FedEx. Dang, FedEx has been on the move. Wow. Since October, FedEx has just been going up, 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 up. This is Hecla Mining Company. Ooh, Hecla Mining. Boom, hit that. You can make some good money on Hecla Mining. I actually want to put a price. I'll put a message for myself. Check option chain. Not there. There. If it gets past there, I want to check that. We got Charles Schwab. No, not interested in that. This is too high. It's going to come down soon, and we can't afford that. Clorox. Clorox been on the tear since. And remember, I told you, I priced that memory. Came up here, boom, came back down, then reversed. It was stagnant for about a week, and then just kept going back up to resistance area. So, you could have made some money on Clorox. Or some digital, of course. Mags, this is Round Hill ETF. Not bad. Okay, volume on it. Right. Gonna make some money. So Mags is the Mag 7. So this is all of your big stocks, your Tesla, nvda, Amazon, all of your top 7 stocks are captured here. Extra, this is energy, utilities. And we got CVS. Let's see, CVS could fill this gap back up to like a 76. Let's look at CVS. Not a lot of volume here. There's some good open interest. Not Not a lot of volume, but CVS is something you guys might want to look at for next week. Affirm has earnings this week. Affirm could reverse. I wouldn't mind. I've made money on Affirm. I made a lot of money on Affirm actually. Damn, can't get back in there. Implied volatility is too high. Affirm used to be like $40, $50 a contract. But that's too high, guys. I can't tell you to look at that. eBay. I'm not gonna trade it, but eBay could make some money on eBay on the run up. XYZ, this is a blockchain company. It is on my do not trade list forever. I could not get XYZ right. Okay. So, I mean, you might be able, it might reverse. You might make some money on it. I won't hold my breath on XYZ. Yeah, look at this. No. It's on my do not trade list. Lunar. INQ. Five volatility is how INQ. It's not a lot of volume. All right, so we're now working about that. JD, I believe this is retail overseas. It's kind of been trading sideways. Not interested. Same thing with New Scale, not interested. Pins is trade pins at your own peril. I traded a little bit. It's hard to get pins right. Pins came down here. Bad. I mean, I don't know. We're gonna go back to 2386. You could make some money on pins, but it's at 10 million. When is earnings? 2 weeks. I'll put it on the list, y'all. I don't. Can make some money on pins, you know. Possible. It's possible. This is Texas Instruments. Ooh, Texas Instruments and kind of spiked on us. Boom. So won't be getting that. Marvell. Let's trade Marvell heavy. I wasn't, but people were trading Marvell heavy last year. Now it's kind of. Widespread on the contract. So they got to get the contracts under control. Then we'll look at it. StubHub. No, SoFi took a beating. SoFi, you can make some money on SoFi. SoFi usually moves maybe $1, $2. It's been beat up. Let's keep an eye on SoFi. All right, so we hit a double top. SoFi. Double bottom. So look for the reversal back up to maybe 25. 25. SoFi. I'm interested in SoFi. We might take some contracts out on SoFi. I'm gonna put a star by SoFi. SoFi was beat up. CLSK. Kind of been trading sideways a little bit. I was looking at this back then. Plug has came all the way down. Could potentially make some money on Plug. Halliburton Company. Wow, their stock is. Camel's Soup. Trading sideways and finally broke. Change of character here. 26 broke. You can make Campbell's and Kraft Heinz Company are very cheap. You can make some good money. Like, if I was paying attention, we could have made some good money on. I mean, I'm cheap talking about like $10, $15, $20 a contract on a daily for Campbell's and Kraft Heinz. If I was paying attention to this 2 weeks ago, could have made some money here. Right, even Thursday. So yeah, what about Campbell? Yeah, could have made some money. But yeah, I'm more so like Kraft Heinz Company versus Campbell's. We got Snap. Oh my. Snap has been beat up. What, they got earnings? November 5th. Snap, what is. Oh my gosh, people are anticipating Snap. When is earnings for Snap? Wednesday. I have to put Snap on the list, yo. How much are contracts for Snap? Contracts are cheap for Snap. 7.5. Where can Snap go? Get back to 7.8. That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad money on Snap. So we'll put Snap on the list, y'all. Interested in that. So we're almost finished. Like I told you, it won't take too long. What about sound? How AI? Sound? All your AI stocks have been beat up. So, this might be a good opportunity to keep your eye on it. Could reverse. Could not. Definitely keep your eye on it. It's Carnival. I don't trade Carnival. This is Big Bear AI. AI's been beat up. Airbnb. I traded Airbnb not too long ago. Airbnb can make you some money. Airbnb can make you some money. Contract's not too bad. A lot of this ask and stuff. We gotta wait till next week because the bid and ask numbers are crazy. There's not even high volatility, but I don't see anything that jumps out to me on. We had a double top, reversal, maybe double bottom, and go back up. But they gotta get the prices right. This is 3D Systems, Technology, T-Doc, Hill, Teledoc Hill. This is Barrick Mining Company. Did they have earnings or? Let's see. CNC, I think this has earnings on Friday. Yeah. Healthcare. OKLO. We are this is high. What about 100? Contract's not bad. Open interest, a lot of open interest on OKLO. Let's see, 89. Jeez. Get back up here, but it had to get there in 2 days. Not a big fan. Unity. Whoo! What a dip. What a dip. We can take some of this. I don't know what made Unity dip, but we are looking to cash in on this. On the upside, I might just take a contract tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Monday. So it can fill this gap. Let's say we get that and it goes to 38, goes back up to 38. Oh my goodness. This might be the trade of the week on Unity, y'all. $35 long. This might be the trade of the week. Wow. This is why you gotta do your charting. Just so you can see these opportunities. Wow. Wow. Copen. Semiconductors. Low PTD. PTD has been getting beat up as retail. Maybe keep your eye on PDD. Could reverse. Let's see what the contracts prices are looking like. Kind of high volatility. It's because the spread is too big. Weeble. Oh my goodness. It's been on a down slope. And I had this on my list earlier in the month, but could definitely go up, but look like it's getting killed. Clove. Killed. DraftKings, jeez. Got earnings coming out. DraftKings. And back up to what, 30 or 31? We put DraftKings on the list, y'all. There's so many. Well, we got stars by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 contracts. 6 tickers that we. We got AMC, the meme stock. ExxonMobil, high. What about Disney? Disney has earnings Monday. Reverse Thursday. Gonna make some money off the reversal. I like playing Disney. Oh, Peloton. Not doing good. I think they just had earnings. And what a good recovery for Altria Group. Open Door. not doing good. Pacific Gas and Electric Utilities reversed. Not bad. Could go back to 1575. Chevron, all-time high for Chevron. BITO, this is Bitcoin. It might be time to get some BITO. Some of these beat up Bitcoin stocks, it might be time to get you some that pay dividends weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. It might be the time to look into that. Texas Roadhouse has finally capped and came down. RIVN, Rivian Automotive has been beat up. It could be looking reverse. Let's put that on the list. Just in case the tech sector and things like that don't work out in our favor. We got Papa John's. Has been beat up. Riot. This is technology for Bitcoin. Went up. It's coming down. Warner Brothers. It's coming down a little bit. Chipotle. Quantum. Q. Down. Lyft. Down. This is ConocoPhillips. Up. Pretty much all your fuel companies are up. This is Cypher Mining. Actually low. This is one of the mining companies that's kind of been up and down. I like to play this. So let me see. As far, like I said, they get the contracts right. Okay, this looks pretty good. 50, 17.5, and where we can get back to, boom, come back. 17.5. So it's not bad. We'll put that on the list. 26 CIFR Cypher Mining. 27. Do we have anything else? iBit. Might be able to get into that. GPS Bitcoin. All this is Bitcoin, Trust, and ETFs. Starbucks. Starbucks hit in reverse something crazy after earnings. Didn't have good earnings. Fidelity Bitcoin. This is something you get from Bitcoin Fund from Fidelity. So the Bitcoin is low, right? Since it's been in April, so this might be a good time to load up and buy some of these funds. I'm going to investigate tomorrow. And let me make a note to myself. And let's look at some of Bitcoin dividend stocks where you can buy low. Let's look at that and I'll share that tomorrow. All right, we cover. Kind of went low. Restaurant. Iron is pretty big. You keep our eye on it. Kroger's did a nice little reversal. I put Kroger's on the list and said about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and said 2 weeks ago we said we were probably coming back up to 63, and we came up to 63 on Monday. Valero, same with the energy sector, is probably up. Walmart, you guys know I've been trading Walmart. Walmart actually went up. Remember, I had Walmart on the list last week. Walmart went up Friday. Remember, I told you I was like, I'm going to keep Walmart on the list. Walmart went up to 170.17 and boom. Came all the way back up to 119. Core Weave. Core Weave's been getting beat up. Core Weave's high. I don't know. You still might want to keep Core Weave on your list. MSTR. MicroStrategy. It's expensive. But we're going to keep our eye on it because it's probably going to go down. Probably back down because Bitcoin is down. So, let's see. We'll keep an eye on that one. IBM. Keep an eye on that. Coinbase. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're going to keep our eye on Coinbase. We can make some money on Coinbase. 261. I'm just waiting for it to reverse. We're going to make some money on Coinbase. Last one is Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has been beat up. 140 2 weeks ago. And it's still, Dollar Tree still has past a month 50%. Could go down to 107. DLTR. Not a lot of volume. Not messing with Dollar Tree. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. About an hour and a half. We went through about 171 tickers, which is a lot, or 100 and some tickers. So we pretty much got the tick list. Like I said, we're gonna be a little bit thorough tomorrow. We're gonna do a tick list. Also, I am going to drop. We're gonna look at some Bitcoin stuff and see if we can investigate and maybe buy a few shares of Bitcoin and see how well that will do for us. So, all right, everybody, have a great Sunday. Appreciate you checking out the video, and we'll be back Sunday evening, and we're gonna look at the tick list. Put the tick list out, and then also share my thoughts on some Bitcoin things we can probably invest in since it's at an all-time low. Okay, JC the Trade Shark, and I'll catch you guys on the next